All right, guys, today I wanted to talk about another team that I really enjoy watching. The fans are amazing, so let's talk about the Toronto Raptors and what's going to happen for them in Orlando. Now, it's this narrative that's going around with national media that it's just kind of a given that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to just walk right into the NBA Finals. And I'm here today to tell you that I don't know why it's just a given that the Bucks will beat the Toronto Raptors. I actually feel like the Bucks are going to struggle with Toronto. I don't really feel like Toronto has really taken a step back at all for a couple reasons that we'll talk about. And I think it's very possible that the Raptors could go right back to the NBA Finals. And once they're there with Nick Nurse as coach, I don't know why they couldn't just repeat, honestly. There's a world where that happens and they just come and blindside everybody. And I wouldn't be all that surprised. All right, the things I like about the Toronto Raptors, when you look at them, they have the number 2 defense in the NBA behind the Milwaukee Bucks. They play an incredible brand of defense. They adjust to every team they play incredibly well. We saw that last year in the playoffs where Nick Nurse would adjust their styles to win games. It was fantastic. This year, that defense has been just as good, and you've had players step up that didn't step up quite like they did last season, but are doing it this year. Pascal Siakam is looking like all NBA. I don't know if he's going to be first team all NBA, but he's absolutely got to be all NBA, at least second team for sure. He has been just an absolute monster for them. I mean, every single year it's kind of like Pascal Siakam is like most improved player. He's going to get MVP votes. He's going to make the All-Star team. He's just incredible. His length and size, his ability to finish, his three-point shooting has improved. He is just an all-around two-way player that is just fantastic. And the thing I get excited about Pascal Siakam is that last season in the playoffs, there were times where it felt like he really relied on Kawhi to kind of take them to the top, and that's what Kawhi did in a lot of ways. And you could see there were times where Pascal Siakam was a little nervous to take a three and things like that, but that has not been the case this season. He has been a stud. He has gotten better every single year. He has just gotten exponentially better to the point where he's just one of the best players in the league now. He's phenomenal. And we know what Kyle Lowry brings to this team. He is just the guy that sometimes it won't show up in the stat sheet, but he just knows how to win games, whether it's drawing fouls, charges, and things like that, or setting up his players, setting big screens with his just thick frame that just like is, I mean, he's honestly one of the strongest players in the league, if not the strongest guard. His ability to just like find ways to make his team better and then knock down shots. He's just a shot maker. So Kyle Lowry is just a fantastic guard that just helps you win games. You've got Pascal Siakam, who brings star power now. And then you have other guys that are just absolutely just, there's no weakness on this Toronto Raptors team. They have the number 2 defense because they're long at every position. They have guys like Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka who protect the rim and cover their man and just are really smart, veteran, savvy defenders. Masai Ujiri is just incredible. His ability to put together this team that has been so fantastic. We know what Fred VanVleet can do. The guy absolutely, in a lot of ways, was the reason Toronto won last year in the playoffs as much as Kawhi. You know, Kawhi would draw a lot of defensive attention, but then you have Fred VanVleet hitting big-time shots. This year, Norman Powell might be the best, most improved player of the year. He's been incredible. I mean, the more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking they probably are just going to win it all. The guy that makes me the most sad, the guy that I wanted my team to draft, the Utah Jazz. I'm a Jazz fan. Everyone who watches the channel knows who my team is. OG Anunoby is looking like first-team all-defense now. You know? So you replace Kawhi with OG Anunoby and you've got that defense and he can knock down a three. There's just not a lot of weaknesses with these guys. And when they're playing at a high level, they can beat anybody. And when you have like the Lakers who are missing 2 key players in Avery Bradley and things like that, they can beat the Lakers. You know? They're going to know Danny Green's weaknesses and things like that. The Bucks didn't beat the Raptors last year. Why are the Bucks going to beat the Raptors this year? And then the Clippers, who knows Kawhi better than Toronto and what to do with him and Nick Nurse? I mean, this really is a very possible thing for this Toronto Raptors team to go all the way. I am excited to watch it because it's fun. It's a team that plays defense. They have no weaknesses on their team. They don't really have like that top 5 guy. So there's not a LeBron on this team. There isn't a Kawhi like last year that they relied on. But the overall team has no weakness, and they can beat you in multiple ways. And they have multiple guys that can go off. Pascal Siakam will go off for 30 points one night. Or Fred VanVleet will have one of those games where he hits like 6 threes, 6 for 8 from 3 or something like that. And Marc Gasol, and it's just there's so many reasons to like this team, and I think the best part about this Toronto Raptors team is there's not a lot of reasons not to like them. With a lot of teams out there, there's like, well, they don't have the depth, or well, they're lacking in this position, or maybe they have to overcome this defensive deficiency. There's none of that with Toronto. They're just like elite or all-star level in every position, and we'll have to see what happens in the playoffs, because last year we saw Kawhi save them against Philadelphia with a last-second bucket and just big shots. That big 3 he hit against Toronto, it was like, I can't remember which game it was. It was like game 4 or 5. I can't remember. And he just hit this huge, massive 3. Can the Toronto Raptors hit those shots that Kawhi hit last year? I think they can. We shall see. But they need Kyle Lowry to step up like he did the last half of last year's playoffs, and they need Pascal Siakam to be the Pascal Siakam of the regular season, but in the playoffs, because the playoffs are a different story. Guys, I just wanted to talk about the Raptors. I'm excited to watch them. It's going to be lots of fun. They're going to win lots of games, and they might win the whole thing. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to this channel, guys. I will talk to you later.